Good morning. As I said, I'm going to be brief. Just give you a quick update on, I'm delighted to say, the staff. We'll take questions after the variety show by the vice deans, all of whom have prepared. So I'm not going to mention the 232 new staff by name, if that's okay. Hopefully they know you know who you are. We're delighted that you're here. This place doesn't run without all of you and the concerted efforts and the trauma and tribulations that we put in front of you and your creativity for solving all of the issues that come at you. And our job is to make that a little easier, and hopefully, as I said, the vice deans can help, and we're here to make sure that we provide a better environment for all of you. So just to help frame the components of the superstructure, if you will, of the School of Medicine. So you'll hear from the vice deans and their staff and their interactions, et cetera, but from the dean's office, you know Tina and Susan and Elizabeth, who work in the office, and then they connect with Human Resources, our Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, Communication, Strategy, and Quality Improvement, and trying to gather the best data we can, as well as recruiting at the staff level. So that's who we are, and we're open for business and open for comments, and I don't hear back from all of you enough, but I certainly can and will be conscientious in my responses. So staff awards. So you all put together a assessment of and invited applicants for these awards. They're all pretty cool and special. The Staff Star Award recipient is Alberto Santana. Recognized a staff member who demonstrates supportive, team-oriented, authentic, and respectful interactions with others. And he's a analyst programmer in the Department of Population Quantitative Health Sciences. Is Alberto here? Don't see him, but congratulate him. I see members of the department here. Melina Bay is a Staff Diversity Award recipient, recognized as a staff member who actively promotes diversity and inclusion. We've interacted with her a lot. She's been critical to the PrEP program and its success, and I'm delighted with her accomplishments and support for our students and trainees. The John Harris Staff Recognition Award is Jason Butrago, who's here. I think I saw him. Thank you. Actually, I like this tie better than the current one, so good job here. So, the staff recognizes not simply excellent job performance, but seeks to call attention to those going beyond the formal boundaries of the job to demonstrate leadership, humanistic work, and/or commitment to service. This is a big deal award. Sorry, Jason, but because of the recognition that Joan Harris had as a staff person here for decades. Many of us knew her, and to follow in her footsteps is a big deal, so congratulations on that. We're keeping Jason very, very busy. He's meeting with all of the master's programs to coordinate a better process for our recruitment of those trainees. And the Staff Mentor Award is to Maria Risk. Is she here? Yes, she is. Great. Thank you. Director of Operations, Administrative Operations in the Department of Nutrition. The awards recognize a staff member who demonstrates outstanding mentorship qualities to other staff. And if you're really nice to Maria, she'll let you into the teaching kitchen when they're having something good that you want to be able to participate in. So, got it. So we're going to try to figure out how to take questions either here or after. And the dean's office team promises me that we'll figure out a response. If we don't get to it here, we'll respond back either individually or, if appropriate, as a response to the staff meeting that we're currently having, as a email that we'll send out. So if you've got a question or an issue, I said to get in touch, or just you saw the dean's office people, you know us, give us a holler. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move on to looks like 9 10. 10 vice deans. We're going to tell you who they all are, and we're going to try to keep it in order. I see Bill Sheeman coming up first, so we'll start with him. I'll get off the page, and we'll, when the next person sees their face up here, you better show up. Bill Sheeman, Vice Dean for Research.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'm moving a little slow. I took the long way up. What I can tell you is when you're almost 57, it's not the time in your life to learn how to do handstand walks, which I tried to do yesterday. As part of the training, we're supposed to report our total distance covered, which mine was about 1 foot and probably 60 feet of falling. So don't do it. You're going to be sore the next day. Okay, so I'm going to just talk to you briefly about the Research Administration Office and really kind of just give you an overview. I mean, the Case School of Medicine is shown here. As you all know, our structure and our affiliate system with university hospitals, Metro Health, the VA, and Cleveland Clinic and university hospitals. The faculty, we have about 3,200 full-time faculty, about 5,000 part-time, and about 41,000 staff. Now, if you actually take these numbers at face value, we could be the biggest employer of the state across the School of Medicine, probably inching out Walmart by a few people here or there. The school itself is an incredible institution for biomedical research. We're a top 25 medical school. We're the #1 medical school in the state and the largest in the state of Ohio. We're supported by 14 basic science and 21 clinical science departments, 34 core shared resource facilities, and 39 collaborative research centers and institutes, and almost $400 million in funding. But this is really quite a big enterprise, if you will. And I think all of you can realize, too, that the 3 missions of a biomedical research campus is to heal patients, to educate the next generation of healthcare providers, and to basically to facilitate discovery and disseminate discovery. And that's really what we're focused on here. Our strengths of research are shown here, and in particular, what we're investing heavily in sort of 3 initiatives over the next couple years is in the development of a therapeutic discovery center, collaborative across the campus, led by the School of Medicine. We're investing heavily in public and community health and social determinants of health policies. In artificial intelligence, let's face it, it's in the news, it's not going anywhere. We have a new center that's going to be rolling out and be announced in the very near future. In my role as the Vice Dean for Research, I really am focused on several topics that you can see here to advance and support research programs, to expand our team-based science and interdisciplinary science across the campus, to focus quite heavily on improving our technologies and keep us up to date so we can remain innovative and competitive, lead strategic shared resource investments across the School of Medicine, oversee the optimal grant submission process, which it's amazing to me how many grants we actually submit on a yearly basis, and this is really a very streamlined process. Develop fiscal strategies with our new Vice Dean for Finance, Paul Bristol, as well as with Stan, and to drive commercialization of our faculty discoveries. And so we do all of this with a mindset that's directed at the strategic plan. You might want to read the strategic plan. Stan loves it. If you ever bump into him, you can tell him how much you enjoyed reading it. And within our goals and our mindset here, our objectives in research are really to increase our national reputation in supporting our faculty to promote innovation. We're extremely focused on expanding our net science faculty and our numbers. We really want to try to be able to increase this by 10% over the next 5 years, with 15% of our hires coming from groups that are underrepresented in science and medicine. We really want to develop and build more interdisciplinary programs, basically where the sum of the individual parts give you synergy, bringing people together from different types of science in different areas of research, working to answer a single question. And we also want to increase our investments in our faculty through supporting them both during the good times and the bad times through bridge fundings and other pilot funding initiatives. And we're also wanting to invest in emerging technologies, which I mentioned earlier. And all of this is supported by the people that you see here, and in particular, Erica Pathras. She's been a wonderful addition to the team, keeps us all in line. Derek Taylor is the new Assistant Dean for Shared Resources and really helps as a sounding board and somebody who looks deeply into the innovation that we have in our shared resources. And he's supported, we both are, by Michael Picarillo, who really came over from the Cleveland Clinic and really has done a tremendous job of giving structure and developing new process in our shared resources. Harley is actually somebody I refer to as our bounty hunter. It's amazing sometimes how many people use your shared resources but don't pay up. She's coming after you, and she's going to get the money. And Nicole Thomas is our core service training and procurement. And I'm happy to say that after almost 2 years in the role, we're finally at a position where we can start to hire program managers, and these interviews are actually starting now. And I'll leave you just with one more thought. One of the other objectives is to increase our ability for startups and basically our IP and commercialization process. CASE is phenomenal at this. We're one of the top 20 in the entire world in terms of patents. And that's actually supported by the people that you see here, the Office of Translation and Innovation, our consultants, as well as our development team. So I will leave it with that. I can see Leah's getting antsy. And if you have any thoughts, questions, and concerns, please reach out to us. And I will move on to Leah.
Look at me. I was just told to keep us on time, that's all. So good morning, everybody, and I'll just echo something that Stan said earlier. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you do. Everything that we do is 1,000% supported by our staff. I'm relatively new to the CASE community, having been here just over 3 years, and I have learned so much from all of you. I pick your brains on a regular basis, and I just wanted to say thank you for that. I serve as the Vice Dean for Medical Education. I think everyone kind of knows what we do in the medical education group. We have 3 programs that lead to a medical degree. Our traditional 4-year program, which we call the university program, the Cleveland Clinic Learner College program, which is a 5-year physician investigator pathway, and the oldest combined MD PhD program, our medical science training program. We also support a PA program, which has about 40 students. We've just graduated our 6th class of PAs, physician assistants, and we have a network of certified anesthesiology assistants, or CAAs, including a program in Washington, D.C., here in Cleveland, and then a program in Houston, and our newest program in Austin. It is the first of its kind. It's now 53 years old, and it's a 24-month program that leads to the certified anesthetist degree. In addition to the degree granting programs that we have, we also manage our Clinical Skills and Simulation Center. If you haven't come over and seen it at the Health Education program, please do. It's really, it's a really wonderful place. We have the Health Sciences Library, our admissions office, financial aid office, the registrar, student affairs, curricular affairs, assessment office, an evaluation office, diversity support, faculty development, and a CME office. So it's a big job, but it's a fun job, and it's really about learning. So if there's anything that it is that you're interested in learning and I can help, please let me know. What we do and what we're proud of, our staff, as I said, do a lot. We have several of our staff who serve on the Staff Advisory Council. I'm actually very proud of our staff. They're very generous with their time with new people, both in and outside of our own department. And education is our mission, so the bulk of what we do is student support and administrative support, of course, professional development for our staff. We do have also some community outreach that we do, student interest groups who have all kinds of interests and do community outreach stuff, and community health fairs that our students participate across the spectrum of the professions there. If you have anybody in your family who's interested in going to medical school, please refer them to our All Access Medical School Admissions podcast that's run by Christian Essman, our Director of Admissions. And of course, in the basic science departments and where some of you work, we do have our students spend now 12 consecutive weeks in the summer between year 1 and year 2 in the research space as part of their required curriculum. So thank you for welcoming them and helping them navigate into the science world before they finish their programs. I'm happy to answer questions, but that's really all I have to say today. Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Marvin Neiman, the Vice Dean for Graduate Education. So the Vice Dean for Graduate Education is a new position. It was created 2 years ago this month, if I get it exactly right. This really elevates graduate education at the School of Medicine. With that elevated visibility, it's elevated responsibility as well, which we don't take lightly. Our strategic plan, we're focused on student experience, if I could boil it down to 2 words. And then under these, our first focus in that space, which is improving experience and welcoming all of the students regardless of where they're coming from, starting from. And then getting them to where they want to go. It's getting them ready for their career, whatever they're defining it, and our job is to help them get there. And in order to do that, we have to have excellent programs, and so we're really pushing on program evaluation to make sure that the programs are doing what they say they want to do. What we do, we have a lot under our shop. We have undergraduate research opportunities where students are here for 8 to 10 weeks, all the way to postdoc training. The bulk of our time is spent with master's and PhD programs. Some people are surprised at these numbers. We have 18 master's programs with an enrollment of 835 this fall, and we have 17 PhD programs with 428 students in them. This includes all of our PhD programs. We work closely with Jason Buitrago's shop in enrollment management for, again, this is not only from reaching out to students from diverse backgrounds, but just getting as many people interested in our programs as we can. And we go to, this is a photo from last year's ABRCAMS conference, was the annual biomedical research conference for minoritized scientists. That was our team, and really those are highly successful efforts. We also work closely with the RISE program directors at the University of Puerto Rico across all of the campuses, and hosting in-person and virtual events. We also coordinate with the digital advertising and enhanced Slate functionality. That's how we track our interactions with these individuals. This last year, Jason and I went to the SACNAS conference in San Juan, and on our way back, we said we need to have that here. And so, with Jason's help, we were able to start a SACNAS chapter this year. The SACNAS is in its 50th year this year. We just went to the meeting. This was from a couple of weeks ago, and importantly, it will be in Columbus in 2025, and we really want to have a big presence there. The Dean Scholars Pathway, this is a postdoc pathway, highly structured, highly mentored postdoc pathway meant to diversify our faculty. So we take our highly talented postdocs and we create an environment in which they can become faculty. And these are our this year's cohorts. First year we have 3, we're planned for 3 each year with a steady state of about 15 because it's about a 5-year program. The current cycle is open for applications. We have lots of events from career development to some celebrating. One thing we've done the last 2 years is a good time cruise downtown in August. It's a good time, haha. And anyway, it's fun. One thing about student experience is mentor training, making sure our mentors, we're creating a community around mentor training. It's not just we tell you how to be a mentor. It's getting, look, 59, 38, 49 people in the room to talk about mentor training and best practices and how are we going to, just sharing ideas because we all have come from different spaces. Program evaluation, working closely with Kelly Quay in the medical education research evaluation. This is another benefit, working with Leah closely. We're able to share these resources across the school. And Kelly has, just this month, we've gotten together a program evaluation that we're going to be able to roll out at the end of this semester to evaluate our graduate programs and a postgraduate exit survey, also to see where our graduates are going. And Tana Mangosh has developed our competency-based IDP plan, which we're rolling out to the first years. We have the 3 individuals who have been in the staff a long time. You've heard Milana got the award earlier, and then Debbie Noradine is our BSP, our umbrella biomedical scientist training program administrator, and Grace manages the databases. Since I took over, these are the new positions. So again, a real commitment to graduate education. We're really expanding what we can do. The finance operations manager, Colleen. Friday, Tessiana Misko is an instructor, so a faculty level position to lead our career and professional development curriculum. Tana is working closely with Kelly Quay in our program evaluation. Susie Brill has been on staff for a long time. She has decades of experience with T32 submissions. These are our training grants, and so she's helping centralize that process and making it available to everyone. And Isaac Anaya just started. He's our student success specialist. We currently have a job posted for postdoc affairs office. Let us know how we can help. There's our contact information. Thank you.
Didn't know how to answer that. All right, hi everyone. I recognize some faces. Grace McCumsey here. So I'm Vice Dean for Clinical and Translational Research. So anything that touches people, their data, that's what clinical and translational research is. So first, I really couldn't do it with my team. So this is a group. It's a group that started when I came to the CTSC. It was about a year ago. We had 3 people. We are expanding, and the goal is to have 20 people. So that gives you an idea about how we're expanding the program. So what is CTSC before I tell you our mission? So the Clinical and Translational Science Collaborative is about 60 grants or in 60 different academic centers across the US. CASE is one of them. I can tell you I just came back from DC for a CTSC meeting, and the director was showing all the accomplishments, and we were almost on every slide. So we are one of the very highly seen, very productive CTSC program. So our mission, as you see, is to improve human health. And what we mean by that is we want to do research that touches people's life, that translate to improvement in people's health. We facilitate research. We make it easier for investigators. We educate them. We train them, whatever they need to encourage research, whether for new investigators or people who have been doing research. Sometimes they still need a lot of training. So that's our mission, is to improve and enhance clinical and translational research. And our vision, obviously, is to have a healthy Cleveland, Ohio, and that our innovations will translate to a better world overall. So what do we do? Part of what we do is to provide services, as I said, to facilitate research. So one big part of research, and I see Mark here, is big data. And as Mark knows, now tons of investigators want to innovate with using a huge amount of data, millions of patients' data. Why is that important? I do COVID research. We found that COVID triggers autoimmune disease and triggers diabetes. If we are to enroll people in a study like that, we will need millions and millions and millions of dollars and probably 10 years worth of work. So big data that's available already in the electronic medical record are very important. So we're encouraging the access to big data and training investigators. We have a plan to provide training so people know how to do it. They don't always need somebody to be next to them to do the work. The other thing people like CTSC for is we provide a lot of internal funds. So your PIs, encourage them to always think about us when they need a small amount of money to start a project. We have money in the small money, as well as some that are $175K per year for 3 years for project. And these are, internal funding, easier to get. We have offerings for statistical support, regulatory, recruitment, anything you can think about when you enroll participants, humans, as well as look at data. We can help you with that. And then one big piece or goal of the new cycle of the CTSC, which, by the way, started only 2 months ago. So lucky for me, I have 7 years of funding, and it only started a couple months ago, is engaging the community. And I don't mean just ask the community after the fact, how are we doing good or not? That's what we used to do. We want to engage the community to be with us on the table when we design initiatives and design studies. So as I tell Stan, my goal is to make CASE the ideal partner, academic partner for community. There's a lot of money from NIH and other organizations, federal agencies, to give money to projects that are co-led by community and academia. So we want to be the academia partner that all the community organizations come to work with us. So in terms of education and training, we have a lot of initiatives that we're starting. Actually, 24 is going to have those 3 that you see. Atlas is a program for making investigators learn how to do team science. Believe it or not, we have a lot of smart people, I mean, not just us at CASE, but everywhere, who are very good, very innovative, but they don't know how to work together. They don't know how to collaborate. And even more, not only we want to teach them to do team science, we want to teach them to lead, to be leaders in team science. So we're starting that Atlas program early next year. We have a science cafe that I encourage all of you actually to come. It's once a month, and we really want expertise from all over the place to get together. The idea is put people in the same room, talk about one topic with one content expert, and see how we can collaborate together on more. And then CTSC Day, you're going to be invited to learn about our CTSC. And I was told my time is up. So this is a part of our initiatives, actually, for DEI. Our grant is related to health equity, and that's actually at the center of our grant. So we do a lot of DEI activities. Please become a member of the CTSC. If you want to learn, all you have to do is to go to our website, the QR code, and then become a member, and you'll get all the emails, newsletters, and so on. Happy to answer questions at the end, and Adrian is next. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace, for that. And may I just say at the outset, yes, I am Adrienne Fletcher, but I am so excited as I stand in this newly minted role as the Vice Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusive Excellence, that this thread of diversity is woven throughout the School of Medicine, and that really excites me because it's going to make my job easier. So I'm very excited about this. So let me just start by saying I recognize that as far as diversity and equity is concerned, student voices are important. Faculty voices are important. But we would be woefully remiss if we did not include the voices of staff at the table. So our team, we want to collaborate with you, we want to engage with you, and we want to hear from you regarding these issues, these very important and weighty issues of diversity, equity, and inclusive excellence. So I recognize that in many spheres, diversity is an indictment, and it's a dirty word. But I'm wondering if we might be able to flip this thing on its head and look at it as an invitation to engage, an invitation to engage with folks who you may not traditionally work with, an invitation to engage around the table with folks who may not look like you, who may not necessarily think like you, and live life the way you live life. It's an invitation to collaborate and to think differently. It is an invitation to problem solve. Research tells us that the more individuals who are at the table, who don't necessarily look, think, act the way we do, we problem solve better. So diversity is really an invitation, and I want to invite all of you to engage, not only with me, but with our office. Thankfully, we have a dean who thinks broadly about these notions. Am I almost done? Okay. Who thinks broadly about these notions in elevating this role, and also who wants to diversify across the full spectrum of the School of Medicine. We also have a president who has stated that life experiences and perspectives and knowledge, when we bring these pieces together, we all thrive. We all win. This is not a zero-sum game. We all win. This is a picture of our amazing team, and we are at the ready to engage with you, to work with you, and also to serve you. I just want to give you a quick snapshot of how we're going to do what we're going to do. Our goal here at the end is to create, of course, a more inclusive School of Medicine, a school of medicine where there is a strong sense of belonging. And when we think about belonging, we want to think about it from the perspective of all of our intersectional identities, all of us in our authentic selves. But we have to get there. And one of the ways that we can get there is taking the information that you are giving to us. May I just ask you all to take a moment to congratulate yourselves, because as staff, 64% of you voted for on the diversity engagement survey. And we really want to thank you for that. So you can give yourselves a hand. Can I get a hand, y'all? So we really do thank you for that. So we're going to take this data, and we'll be doing a few listening sessions, and we're also going to take the Dean's strategic plan. Please do read it. And we have a DEIE strategic plan that's also embedded in that strategic plan. We're going to take all of this data and look at it holistically and think about what the needs are regarding the School of Medicine, particularly with diversity, equity, and inclusive excellence. We're going to bring these pieces together and work to unsilo ourselves, do a little bit of network weaving, bring all the voices to the table so that we can create meaningful initiatives which will move us toward this, not just the notion of inclusive excellence and belonging, but very tangible inclusive excellence and belonging. Please feel free to reach out to me. My email is easy. It's adrienne.fletcher@case.edu. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. I'm Cynthia Cavu, and I'm serving as the Vice Dean for Faculty. And I'm not going to tell you much about me. I'm going to tell you about the amazing staff. And I see a number of staff out here who've helped me out over the 2.5 years I've been in this role. So I'm very grateful to you, and we are here to serve you as well, even though we're the Office for Faculty. What I want to do is just organize and orient you a little bit in terms of what my office does. As Bill had indicated, we have almost 9,000 faculty across 5 campuses, and my office's job is to take care of those faculty from before they're hired until they retire in a whole host of different ways. Faculty Affairs is probably the most robust arm of my office. It's led by Nicole Deming, and it's really responsible for appointments, promotions, tenures. So that's the group that you're going to reach out to when your faculty have questions regarding that, as well as onboarding, offer letters, and so on. We have faculty development, which has been built out tremendously since I started my role here, and that is led by Susan Freemark, which once again looks at faculty development opportunities for all of our faculty, and we're very responsive. We need your feedback. You can give us insights in terms of what your faculty need, and we listen. I'm looking at some people who I know have pinged me repeatedly regarding some of these issues. Finally, we initiated professionalism, and this dovetails very tightly with Dr. Fletcher's presentation. When she started her first meeting with the Dean's Leadership meeting, I said that we are joined at the hip because we have been pretty much from day one. And professionalism, in my mind, is creating an inclusive environment in which everybody can thrive. And that means that it's not just happy and joyful, but we're engaged in meaningful work, and that means everybody. My office is primarily responsible for faculty, but we interface very closely with staff, and you guys are also a connecting point for us to help all faculty thrive. Under that, we are initiating professionalism and resources and so on, and we're looking to bring somebody in to lead that arm of the office. In terms of the individuals who are the touch points for this, Nicole Deming is the Assistant Dean for Faculty Affairs, and she really is a key linchpin in terms of what my office does. We just did hire Lila Robinson, who's an Assistant Director, and she's responsible for appointments, promotions, tenure, and faculty governance. This is supported by 3 outstanding coordinators who do an amazing job, and I try and tell them that every week that I meet with them. Eliza Galinsky is the faculty coordinator and the main contact for university hospitals, the VA, and Metro Health Medical Center. Mary Elizabeth Spohn is responsible for basic sciences and is the main contact for many of you in this room. She also is leading my office's initiative with Interfolio. And Megan Wheeler is responsible for the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine faculty. These are outstanding individuals who are truly committed and very service-oriented. In terms of faculty development, Susan Freemark is well known across the Case campus, and she leads our faculty development initiatives. Mary Kate Kendall has the unenviable job of keeping me on task. And given I have 3 emails, 2 computers, and work across 3 different sites, that is not an easy job. But she's been an outstanding asset in terms of organizing all of us. And Joyce Hilton is kind of the heart and soul of faculty affairs and a primary contact with, if you have any questions regarding who do I go to for what. So I have the privilege of working with superheroes, not only in my office, but also our close allies in diversity. And my team can assist you if you have questions regarding onboarding. You have questions regarding appointments, promotions, tenure. You have questions regarding faculty development initiatives, or you think a faculty member may benefit from executive coaching. We can offer those services. My team can assist if there are concerns regarding professionalism concerns or lapses. What do we do? How do we reach out so we can create an inclusive environment in which everybody thrives with careful attention to diversity and individual needs? And so, as I said many times throughout my career, I have the best job anywhere, including this is one of the best jobs I have, because I work with amazing people such as you to help support our faculty and contribute to the mission of this school, including Stan's strategic plan. And it's pretty easy to find me. I'm the only Kaboo pretty much anywhere, okay? And so you can get me at the clinic, you can get me at Case, and some of you, I think, even have my personal email. Thank you.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Paul Bristol. I'm the new Vice Dean of Research. And on the onset, I definitely want to give a shout out to Elizabeth for keeping my seat warm for the past year. So thank you, Elizabeth, for doing that. Next slide. Is that me? So who are we? We're the finance office, the enrollment management office for strategic initiatives. We're space, facilities, and planning, and research operations, and grants and contracts. Well, what do? We really do partner with everyone in this room, but also, as you heard, all the vice deans that have the mission leads of the campus in terms of guiding our operations, and I will also give the plug, meeting our strategic plan initiatives. We guide the operations by performing administrative tasks. We provide stewardship to the university resources and through adherence through policies and procedures. And then most importantly, our job is to really provide a financial security and structure to the campus and to the school. So who is our team and our team leaders? Not here today, or I think here today. We're led by Lauren Adams, who's our finance lead. She's supported with Jack and Kate, Nick, and Robin. Our research operations is supported by Corey, who I believe is also not here. Facilities and planning is led by Jill Staley. Enrollment management is led by Jason. And then grants and contract is led by John Donsey, who I did see in the room. And then financial operations is led by Hallie Lewis, who's truly my Swiss Army knife and jack of all trades. So I really appreciate her. Who is this guy? So I have a wife and 2 kids, 13 and 20. My daughter's at Arizona State. I couldn't convince her to go to University of Michigan, sadly enough, where I went to school. My first job out of school was in Atlanta, and first job working at United Way as a junior accountant. Stayed in a little town called East Point, which is famously the same town from Outkast. My first AMC was back in 2003. This is actually my 4th AMC. And then I'm an avid sports adventure freak. And one of my first tours in Ohio was competing in a Tough Mudder where I almost lost my big toe because I had competed in the middle of February. Don't ask me why. So what are the goals for the finance and operations team? Obviously, we have to do a lot to make sure that we're meeting the objectives of the strategic plan. I pulled out a couple of those, which is the expansion of interdisciplinary programs across the schools and health systems. We definitely want to work on increasing our simulation programs and growth in the basic science faculty that was mentioned by the Vice Dean of Research, and then investment in discovery-based patents. So what are some of the short-term goals those immediate goals for me and my office? Well, one, we want to develop a decision support system. Obviously, we have a lot of data needs, and so we really need a decision support system that is really going to couple those various systems and variety systems, pull them together, and allow you all to access that information so that you're able to really report on it, make decisions about where we need to go in terms of supporting the mission and objectives. We want to provide guiding principles for financial management, and including enforcement, which really aids with maximizing financial resources. So we have to provide a financial structure for the college. And by doing so, we hoped that we would have a balanced financial approach, which means that we use a diversified approach in terms of supporting our financial mission goals and objectives, as opposed to always using operating funds. As an example, we want to make sure that we're growing in our endowment and our philanthropy, and obviously leaning on industrial outlets as well as research and operations. And I would say the last one out of there, or my job, is to keep the dean out of jail. And my happy place is on a golf course, which in Ohio, that's a short limited time frame, so I'll have to just make do. And you all can reach me by that email. My phone number is not up there with intent. No, just kidding. But you always have a way to find me. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Lindsay and I are going to tag team this here. My name is Michael Dolsack. I'm the Vice President of Development for Health Sciences. So my role is a little unique, where I work not only with the School of Medicine, but I also work with the dental school and the nursing school. I've been at Case for 14 years. I spent my first 10 years at the engineering school.
And I'm Lindsay Whitling. I'm the Vice Dean of Development and Alumni Relations, strictly for the School of Medicine. My entirety of my career has been 12 years, all within the School of Medicine at Case Western. So much like Dean Gerson, we have an executive leadership structure within the school's development and alumni relations operation. I will not dive into each of these areas as it's part of our presentation moving forward, but this group meets on a regular basis, like the leadership group of the School of Medicine, to talk about where we are in our pipeline, what are our fundraising goals, how do we continue to engage our alumni and our friends across the country, in the world now, as we develop an international program to advance the mission of the School of Medicine. And we meet, we talk about trends, we talk about what are other schools doing to engage their alumni? How can we be more successful? How can we be more efficient with our resources? And how can we continue to be successful in the areas of fundraising and engaging our constituents?
So as you can imagine, there's lots of opportunities and lots of priorities for the School of Medicine, but our guiding light and what Stan's been able to help us with is really to focus and align our philanthropy with priority research, education, and community health initiatives and programs to catalyze and enhance the School of Medicine's impact in its community and beyond. So that's really what we sort of focus our fundraising on. We have 6 really strong funding priorities. Scholarship support, so really how do we help reduce student debt? Unrestricted funds, giving the dean funds that he can use for the most pressing needs at the school. Working with Bill earlier that you heard today, translating research from discovery to cures. Faculty recruitment, providing the faculty the funds that they need to be successful so that they can push out those discoveries to cures. And certainly impacting the community. One of the president's priorities is community health. So that is certainly one of our priorities. And capital improvements. How do we help renovate money for laboratories, buildings, equipment, the new buildings that go up? Our fundraising is a big part of that.
So obviously fundraising, very top of mind. Attainment. First, what the heck is attainment? Is attainment a word that development made up to make Paul Bristol's job more difficult in projecting? No. So attainment, before we get into the numbers, is the total amount every fiscal year from July 1 to June 31st that represents everything committed to the School of Medicine on an annual basis. That could mean transactional gifts. You make a gift online, we receive it, we use it, right? Multi-year pledges, these usually represent bigger gifts that are paid over a multiple amount of years. Estate giving, these are people that want to support X, Y, or Z priority within the School of Medicine and have made a provision in their estate. These are just 3 examples of many ways that our donors can make contributions to and support the School of Medicine. So here is what attainment is. So our attainment comparisons between last fiscal year and then the onset of this fiscal year are reporting. We have reporting out from the end of September for this particular fiscal year. And the big takeaway here, if you don't remember all of the numbers, is that they're all trending up. So that's the takeaway of this slide. So last fiscal year 2023, we had a total attainment of $45.6 million with a cash flow of $43.5. That means the cash indicator is we are continuing to engage our constituents. They're continuing to make payments on their pledge. We're realizing our bequest equipment. Our bequest commitments. Catalytic Fund is a representation of part of the total attainment. We raised $2 million plus in attainment last year. This year, as of today, we have $34.7 million in total attainment. As just a benchmark, we raised 14.7 in total attainment as of last year at this time. Our reunion giving is also represented in our total attainment, which we presented a check at reunion weekend for $7.3 million this year. How do we do that? How do we raise these numbers? How do we get our donors and constituents to a place where they want to make commitments to the priority areas within the School of Medicine? A number of ways, and they align with our executive team that I discussed earlier. We have a national development program where every year we figure out where our donors are, where we need to take the dean, where we need to have alumni events, and talk about what's going on at the School of Medicine in research and education in our community health space to get them interested and engaged enough and informed enough to make these investments in our institution and our medical school. We have Reunion Weekend. The School of Medicine every year has the most robust programming, from a day in the life of a medical student to our PhD receptions and anywhere in between. Anywhere you want to be engaged, we have programming for it. Foundation relations, our stewardship efforts, and of course our volunteer boards that coincide with our research priorities.
So it looks like our time is up, but here's some examples of some of the wonderful gifts that we worked on just this last year. Education really falls under scholarship support. So Karen Burquest, I think she's a 1968 School of Medicine grad, made this wonderful gift to endow a scholarship. Faculty support. Rebecca Barkis, another great story. I think she's a 1971 School of Medicine grad, had a life goal of establishing this professorship. Our wonderful development officer was able to help her accomplish that goal. Capital improvements, nutrition kitchen is just one example. Julie Austin in the crowd worked on that. Thanks, Julie. Dean's Catalytic Fund, again, Dean Gerson's opportunity to use unrestricted funds. We just built a brand new immersive learning suite in the HEC, which is amazing. You guys should check that out. Totally cool. And Population Urban Health. We have an anonymous donor who's helping us with our Population Urban Health initiative. And this, again, will help the community as well as the School of Medicine. So ran through that really quickly, but thanks so much, our staff and everybody else.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Gary Schwartz. I'm the Vice Dean of Oncology. So I thought I'd start with this slide and just put in context what an NCI designated cancer center is, because that's what I lead at CASE. We're one of, in fact, 72 NCI designated cancer centers. To be considered an NCI designated cancer center, every 5 years we have to be reviewed by the NCI to look at the quality of our research in cancer medicine and basic science to achieve this designation. In addition, we're considered comprehensive. We're one of the 54 comprehensive cancer centers in the country. To be considered comprehensive, we have to show not only that we do great research, but this research reflects the needs of the community, and we engage in the community in identifying the cancer issues and have bidirectional relationships with them to achieve a comprehensive status. Well, here we are. We've been cancer center designated for 35 years. You start with Nate Berger, our father, or founding father, so to speak. Then on to James Wilson. You may recognize the guy in the middle, the dean of the medical school, Stan Gerson, who was our dean for quite a few years here. And during Stan's tenure, we actually achieved one step higher. We received a designation of exceptional. In fact, we were one of the first in the country to be considered an exceptional cancer center, and that instead of being reviewed every 5 years, We're now reviewed every 7 years. And that was quite an achievement, and everybody now aspires to the exceptional ranking. And so I come in here in 2023. I've been here now 7 months. It's been an exciting time for me and a great time of achievement and advancement. And I'm just so delighted to be leading this cancer program and follow in the shoes of Stan Gerson, which are quite large to follow. Now, who are we as a cancer center? We're a consortium. We're unique. We include 2 major hospitals, University Hospital and Cleveland Clinic, extraordinary centers for cancer medicine. And in the middle of this is the University Case Western. So I represent and lead this effort. We actually lead a cancer program for 4.2 million people in 15 counties, Cleveland and the surrounding areas. That's a pretty big undertaking for anybody and for a program like this, but having exceptional ranking and being a comprehensive status reflects what we can do and what we do. We have many shared resources, research programs. We have 256 members, 437 total. And we bring in a fair amount of money for research. Now, this money just doesn't support our internal staff. It probably supports 400 staff members throughout the whole cancer community. So we impact numerous staff members and continue to raise and find more funding sources. We see a large number of patients. We treat almost 1,000 patients a year, and we train. Training is a critical part of the cancer mission, and we have over 500 trainees, and we publish in many high-impact journals, Cell, Cancer Medicine, Nature, etc. We have core principles, and this is what we strive for. They're aspirational, but they're the foundation of the Cancer Center. Facilitate collaboration through the consortium, drive clinical excellence based on compelling science, educate and train the next generation of cancer-focused scientists and healthcare professionals, promote an inclusive cancer center community that reflects diversity and equity, and build trust within the community to eliminate cancer health disparities, improve health outcomes. This is what we strive for. This is what we try to do as a cancer program, and there are essential principles for cancer medicine. I'm new, but what is the vision? The vision is to provide an environment for seminal discoveries that transform cancer medicine, to be the national leader as a cancer center for high impactful translational medicine, benchtop to bedside research, discoveries made a case that we can then bring to our patients both here and in the community surrounding us. To lead efforts in prevention. We just can't cure cancer, we have to prevent cancer, we have to find new treatments for cancer. It's all going to happen here in CASE. This is our center. And we're here to address and overcome the issues of racial inequity and the burden of that on our community, a major goal of the cancer program. Here we are. This is our staff, 1 of 27. And I'm just so proud to be the leader of this program and to share my thoughts with you this morning, and thank you very much.